Hey, what is up, guys? So today I am going to be doing a video about the different tips and tricks that you guys can use before, during, and after you guys are surf fishing. So most of these tips can apply to anywhere, not just along the Delmarva coast, but along the Delmarva coast is where I've personally used them a lot. But they still will work for anywhere that you are surf fishing. So without a moment of hesitation, let's jump right into the video. So guys, for surf fishing, you're generally going to want a rod that is between 9 and 17 feet long. You don't quite need one that's 17 feet, but you're going to want one that's a little bit larger than 10 feet. I personally use a 12-foot rod. And this is including the butt of the rod. So it's from the butt of the rod to the tip of the rod. I use a 12-foot. So this is in order to, when you're surf fishing, not necessarily just for casting, even though it does help you cast out further. But you don't necessarily need to cast out further. I have in one of my other videos a thing about why you shouldn't overcast. But when you're casting, you cast out, and then you have your rod. So when you stick it in your holder, and I'm going to get into holders in a second, but when you stick it into your holder, first off, the line should be taut. And if the rod's not long enough, the line is going to get into the waves, it might get into the sand. You can gunk up your reel, you can gunk up your line, the sand can granulate your line, which can make it snap easier if you have a fish on. Another thing you guys should do is definitely get saltwater rated gear. Freshwater gear will not work in saltwater, and pretty much all surf fishing is done in saltwater. Now maybe if you were, and this includes brackish water, so if you were fishing in the bay, you still want saltwater rated gear, because it can, if you don't have saltwater rated gear, it can mess up your line really easily, and then your line will gunk up your reel. So with your saltwater rated gear, everything needs to be saltwater rated. You need your line to be saltwater rated, you need your rod to be saltwater rated, you need your reel to be saltwater rated. That's a big part, because having good gear and good tools to work with, your extended gear, which I'll also get into in a minute, that includes your rod holder, your bait knife, your cutting board, all that type of stuff, and that's for mainly if you're using cut bait. But if you're using artificial, you need good stuff to be able to use that. And so if your rod and your reel and your line are getting gunked up after every time you cast out, that's not a good system. So your extended gear, so this is including your rod holder, your bait knife, your cutting board, the bait that you're using. You don't want to get pre-cut bait. But mainly your rod holder. Your rod holder is a very important piece of your surf fishing experience. So when you're going out and you're surf fishing, it's what's holding your rod. So I personally use, it's like a PVC pipe. It has a bolt drawn through the bottom down here and a spike cut off in the bottom. So I stick that in the sand and I put my rod in the top, and the bolt stops it from slipping down further and damaging my reel. So all of these things, these are store-bought. You don't want to try to makeshift your own holder, because a lot of times that can not go great. One time I was fishing at a local lake near my house, and I was casting out, and I set my rod down over a bar that was facing the lake, and I set it over that, and my rod, when I wasn't looking, a carp took my bait, and when I wasn't looking, my rod got yanked into the water. This was just when I was starting up fishing, but it was still a nice rod, and never saw the rod again, didn't get to land the fish. That would have been the first carp that I'd ever caught at that lake, so it was a pretty big disappointment to me, and it was not a good experience, guys. And I don't want that to happen to you, so make sure that you guys get a nice rod holder that is preferably store-bought, or if you're going to make it yourself and make it good, test it in your backyard, stick it in the dirt, pull the line and see if it just yanks out, because if it does end up yanking out when you have a big fish on at the beach, sand, it's going to get all in your reel. You could possibly lose your rod. A lot of bad things can happen, guys, so just make sure that you're doing that part right. Also, guys, another good thing that you guys should be doing is, I like to do it after every trip, but you can get away with doing it after every 2 or 3 trips out to the beach. You're going to want to clean your reel. So your reel, even just the wind, if you think, oh, I'm not getting it dirty, I don't need to clean it, trust me, the wind can blow the sand into tight, hard-to-reach places in your reel. And I'll be coming out in a little bit with a video on how to clean your reel. That'll be coming out in probably a couple days. But so be looking for that video so that you guys know how exactly to clean your reel, or if you already know how to, make sure you do that. One other tip that I would give you guys, that I can't stress this enough in any of my videos, I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. And you could be like, come on dude, why do you keep telling me this? You've told me it before, I don't really think I need to do that, I waste the time, I'll just skip this part of the video. Don't. Guys, go ask other anglers around where you're fishing, even if you fish there all the time. It's a big resource. You guys have to be able to go and you can ask another angler and you can get some great information that can really make or break your fishing experience, because even if you came last year and you know what worked last year, you still have to ask what's working this year. It can be a whole nother ball game, even if it's just even the matter of weeks. I know I've been places where there's a striper run, and the striper run is coming up the coast, and last year it was there at one point, and I came there the next year and I asked around and they hadn't been seen yet, and they came at the end of the week that I was there, so I only got to fish a day or two, when last year I got to fish like 4 days of the striper run, which was really fun. But if I would have gone out there, I would have wasted bait, money, time. So make sure you go and ask other anglers. They are your greatest resource. I can't stress that enough in any of my videos, guys. But anyways, guys, having good gear, it's super important, and it can make or break your fishing experience. And good gear is important anywhere you're fishing, not just surf fishing. So make sure that you guys get good gear so that you can have a great, fun time out there. And just have a great time. It can be a lot of fun when you're catching fish. That bend in your pole, that adrenaline rush, it's great, guys. Just make sure you have good gear that can facilitate that. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. I really hope that I was informative to you guys, and that you guys will take these tips and tricks that have worked for me, and go out there and use them. I'll be coming out with more videos soon about what rigs to use. I'm posting another video today about what bait to use, so that should be up as well. And then how to clean your reel, I have that. That one's going to be coming out soon, in the next week or so. So make sure you guys get good gear, but most importantly, fish on.